What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here, and this is The Defenders Season 1, Episode 6, Ashes, Ashes. So, yeah, some things happened in this episode. Some very interesting things. So, let's talk about it. First of all, we start off this episode with, I'll admit, it was pretty fun. We see pretty much where we left off with the Defenders last episode. Stick has just cut off Sawande's head. They're kind of like, what the hell, man? Why are you killing people? And so there's a little bit of an argument. Ultimately, though, Stick realizes, based on what Sawande said about the Iron Fist being the key to the Hand's plan, he realizes that Danny must literally be a key to open up something. So he's saying we need to keep him under wraps. We need to keep him, on the down low so the Hand can't get to him. Everybody else agrees, except, of course, Danny, who's like, no, I'm the weapon. I'm the immortal Iron Fist. I need to fight the Hand. It's pretty much typical Danny. And this is one thing that I kind of like, because they're staying true to the character of Danny we've seen from the first season. Because that's something that I wondered if they were going to change at all. Was he going to be maybe a bit better of a character in this season? But for the most part, he's still the kind of obnoxious kid that he was in the first season of Iron Fist. And it's working very well to the story in general, because it does create conflict. And there have been several good scenes where his immaturity has shown. And then, people like Luke Cage, people like Jessica Jones, they're very cynical, they're very realistic. They've been in this world, in this very difficult world to survive in. They're slumming it pretty much. They don't know the wealth that he's known. Yes, he lost his parents. Yes, that was difficult. Yes, he had to go through trials to become the Iron Fist. But when he got back, he's pretty much living it up. So, yeah, it does kind of make sense that his sort of immaturity just shows through. And Jessica Jones and Luke Cage try to bring him back down to reality. Ultimately, though, at the beginning of this, Stick says, let's tie him up. He doesn't want to, but Matt says he's right. And so there is a fight scene between Danny and Matt. And so they're fighting. Luke steps in to help out a little bit. He doesn't help out that much. Jessica throws him to the ground one time to help out, but then Danny gets back up and pushes her out of the way. Ultimately, though, it ends. He summons the Iron Fist, and he's like, don't make me use this. Luke comes up from behind him. He hits Luke, knocks him across the room. The energy from it knocks everybody back. And so Jessica's just like, all right, time to end this. She goes up, sorry, knocks him out. And so then they tie him up. And then from there, just things start to get rolling. We do see more of Alexandra's story in this one. We see her seeing the lecture again after she's woken up at the apartment. She had a dream about being with Matt back in the day. So she's starting to remember stuff from her past life. She goes to talk to Alexandra, who's like, they're trying to turn you against us. And she's like, that will never happen. So still not really sure what her mindset is. But we do see the rest of the Hand members are thinking about overthrowing Alexandra as the leader. Saying she doesn't know what she's doing, saying her plan has failed. And this ultimately all culminates in the end, so I'll get back to that story in a second. We see Matt and Jessica going to question the family of that guy that came to Jessica for help. Well, no, his wife came to Jessica for help. The guy that kills himself in the second episode, I think. But yeah, they go to his house to try to talk to his family. The daughter's there, and so they're talking to her, getting some information out of her. There is a nice little scene between Matt and Jessica where she apparently looked him up and found out about his dad. And so she does give him some encouragement while they're talking to the daughter, not really saying that she's encouraging him. But ultimately, Matt realizes that the guy was sitting at his piano a lot, so he goes to it, hits some keys, and then one sounds a little bit weird. They open it up and they find the plans for whatever is at the bottom of this hole that's at Midland Circle, the place where they went before to find all the Hand members. So, yeah, very clearly something's going on there. It's down at the very bottom of this deep, deep hole. I assume it's probably going to be some sort of gateway trying to open to Kunlun, because I think that's what they're trying to use Danny to unlock. I don't really know exactly what it is yet, but it's very interesting because I thought this was going to be kind of like the Hand wants to control the city type thing. But so far, what I've seen from them, it seems like they want to get back to Kunlun. They want to go back home. Now, whether it's to take over Kunlun or whether it's just to go back there one more time before they die, I don't know. I don't know exactly what the thing is. Maybe the substance that brings them back to life that they used on Electra, maybe that's in Kunlun, and so maybe that's why they're trying to get back there. But I don't know. It's very interesting to see what at the beginning of the season they were talking about, like they were going to rule. They were going to try to rule New York or something, and now all of a sudden it's like, no, they just want to use Danny to get back home. So it's been very interesting to see their, I guess, changing. Well, not changing, but the perception of what their plan was change over the course of the season. But aside from Matt and Jessica, we also see Stick and Luke Cage are back at the place where they've been. They're holding Danny down to a chair. He's got some sort of knot tied on his hands that whenever he tries to struggle against it, it just forces it to be even tighter. And so he's trying to summon his chi so he can summon the Iron Fist and get out of it. There are some nice little dialogue moments. Luke is starting to hear more about this kind of mystical stuff that Danny and Stick know about. And at first, same old Luke Cage, he's just like, man, I don't have time for this. I don't have time to listen to all of this stuff. But then as it keeps going, he kind of realizes there is something to this. Obviously the fist is real, so that's not surprising. But he's starting to realize that maybe there is a deeper meaning to all of this. Maybe he does need to learn a bit more about this stuff, so that whenever it comes time to have to fight these people, he knows something about what they're up against. So I really like how his opinion changed over the course of this episode. But unfortunately, Stick has a moment of clarity, I guess you could call it, with the quotes. He realizes that because the Hand need Danny, maybe the best thing to do is just to kill him. And so he's talking to Luke. He's like, why don't you take a whiff of this? And Luke smells it and all of a sudden starts to get knocked out by it. And so he goes over to Danny with a sword, takes his sweet old time because obviously he couldn't just go over and be like, all right, kid, I need to kill you now, and I need to do this quick so nobody interrupts me. And yeah, he takes his sweet old time, which gives not only Matt and Jessica enough time to get up there, but Electra shows up, and she's fighting him. They're fighting. Matt walks into the room right as she's beating Stick. And it was one of those moments where, I don't know, I have seen this moment before where it seems like, oh, maybe Matt will be able to get through to her. Maybe he'll be able to talk her down. As she's standing over him with the sword, I'm like, no, I think this is it for Stick. And I think that last thing that he just did, trying to kill Danny, I think that's going to be his death flag. And sure enough, she's like, it's nice to see you again. Stabs him through the stomach, so now Stick is dead. And then Matt goes and tries to fight her. She knocks him across the room. Jessica's fighting her for a second. She kicks her up against the wall, knocks her out. Luke Cage finally recovers from the smoke that knocked him out, and then he's up and trying to fight her. She knocks him out. And so then she just picks Danny up, jumps out a window, and takes him back to the Hand headquarters. So that's where we leave the Defenders for this episode. We get to the final scene where, first of all, we see Alexandra talking to Murakima, I think is his name, or Murakima. Yes, I looked it up, and I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. But she's talking to him. He's talking about, giving her food and giving her champagne or something like that. And he's talking about, I wanted to make sure you had a good last meal. And she's just like, so you decided to fight me alone? That was foolish of you. And he just starts taunting her. She's kind of taunting him back. And then just out of nowhere, Electra walks into the restaurant, Danny in tow. And she's just like, you should know something about me. I always win. And so they take him back to Midland, to their headquarters, and they're talking to him. She's like, take him away. And then she's talking to Electra and saying, I need you to go. I can't remember what it was. I think she said, I need you to go kill Jessica Jones, go kill Luke Cage, go kill whoever the Devil of Hell Kitchen is. And so she starts talking to him, and one of the things I do, I typically leave closed captions on because I like to be able to see what they're saying sometimes, because at times it can be kind of softer, and I don't like to have my volume extremely loud, so sometimes the closed captions do help in case I missed. I was like, what did they just say? Okay, there it is. However, it does ruin a couple scenes whenever somebody's about to get cut off by something. And so as she's talking, I see the little cut off mark at the end of her sentence, and I'm just like, something bad's about to happen, isn't it? Sure enough, she gets cut off, stabbed in the back by Elektra, and Elektra's just, she whispers in her ear, his name is Matt, throws her to the ground. She said, my name is Elektra Nachios, and I'm the leader now. And then slices, I assume either slices her head off or just cuts her throat open. And she's like, any questions? So yeah, there is that to talk about. First of all, I'm kind of disappointed. You know, as much as I understand the scene, as much as I understand what they're trying to do here, you know, the kind of the shock twist, like, holy crap, Elektra's now killed off Alexandra, and you thought Alexandra's going to be the main villain, but she's not anymore. At the same time, it's kind of disappointing because I wanted to see her fight. You know, the only fighting we saw Sigourney Weaver do this season was the one scene with Elektra whenever she had first woken up. You know, we saw her fight her a little bit and manage to restrain her. But I'm just like, she's got to be the biggest bad of them all, right? Like, she's not even fazed by this Murakami guy who has been proven to be an extremely skilled fighter, you know, taking down a bear all by himself. I wanted to see them go head-to-head. And even if not her up against, you know, the other fingers of the hand, I wanted to see her go up against the Defenders. And so to see her go out stabbed in the back by Elektra is just kind of like, it's not the way I wanted her to go out. I wanted her to have an awesome fight scene. I wanted to see what she could do because you could tell they were building her up to be this extremely, like, badass character. And now she's just done. And that's it. So yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed by that, but at the same time, it does make for kind of a shocking twist. It also does raise a lot of questions about Elektra. Is she really Elektra now, or is she still some sort of darker being inside of Elektra's body who now has Elektra's memories? Like, who is she at this point? That's what I'm most curious to find out. Who exactly is she right now mentally? But obviously this is a big change. Looks like she's going to be sort of the main villain for the rest of this season with Madame Gal Bakudo and Murakami in her command. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to see what's going to happen next. They're definitely building it up to be kind of a Defenders versus her for the ultimate battle because she showed this episode that she is kind of, you know, at first she was a really good fighter and they showed that, but they managed to take her down. But now she's kind of like to the point where she's almost superhuman strength. She's knocking them across the room. And even Luke Cage, she's knocking him across the room as well. So clearly she's kind of reached this state in, I guess, her rebirth, where now she is becoming something more than human. So I'll be very interested to see what's going to happen next, how they're going to be able to defeat her, obviously probably working together. But yeah, I really like where they're going. I hope maybe this episode and everything that happens from here on out, I'm hoping maybe this helps Danny grow a little bit more and grow in maturity as well. Because, like I said, we've seen him be a kid, we've seen him make some stupid decisions, we've seen him jump headlong without any thought or care about what happens to the people around him. So I'm hoping maybe that this will be a little bit of a learning lesson. And we even see in this episode, we see Styx sort of talking to him and almost kind of saying, hey, stop being an idiot. So I'm hoping there's some growth. I hope he doesn't end this season with the same mindset that he had in season 1 of Iron Fist and most of this season so far. But I'm really looking forward to see what they're going to do next. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What were your thoughts on this episode? Let me know. We can talk about and discuss all that good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe for future Defenders reviews. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.